So good morning, everyone who's here in person, and good morning for all those that are joining us online. Today is the 23rd day of Sivan. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. The sun is shining again. And in today's lesson, we're going to learn the cardinal doctrine of Tzimtzum. What is Tzimtzum? Tzimtzum is contraction. Loi kipshutai. What is Tzimtzum loi kipshutai? That the original contraction, which Kabbalah describes as the first necessary steps required for an infinite Almighty to create a finite world, was not literal, but figurative. Doesn't mean that Hashem actually hid himself, as we'll soon see. In light of what has been said above, that Hashem's knowledge is wholly one with Hashem himself. Remember yesterday we said Hashem is the knowledge, is the known, and is the knower, according to the Rambam. Right? And we expounded upon this. And this is not an easy subject, and it's not an easy concept, but we'll go with that for now. It is possible to understand the error of certain scholars in their own eyes. May Hashem forgive them. It's possible that they even erred unwittingly. I said Arizal Zechrani Levracha. Who erred in their misinterpretation of the Arizal. They misunderstood. In the writings of the Arizal, it's stated that in the beginning, before creation, the Oid Ein Sof, the light of Hashem, filled all space, and there was no room for the creation of the finite worlds. For inasmuch as worlds are by definition finite, whereas the divine light is infinite, so there's no room within the infinite for finitude. How then did finitude worlds come into being? How could you possibly put something that has limit in the unlimited? It doesn't really make sense. So the Rizal explains that this is through the doctrine of Tzimtzum, that the Oid Ein Sof, the light of Hashem, departed, and this is why he says this is figuratively speaking, but not literal. It ceased to be revealed, so that infinity was no longer in a state of revelation, and all that remained revealed was the power of finitude. So this power does allow for the creation of the finite worlds. So the scholars in their own eyes misunderstood, according to Al-Tabba, this mere concealment to mean a literal departure. There's no such thing. Hashem doesn't literally depart anything. Hashem is here just as much as he was before. So what's the difference? From our perspective, Hashem removed himself from this world. How can we say such a thing? And only guys from above. This is what they said, or this is what's maybe chas v'shalom, the idea that Hashem removed himself, and then just like a puppet master, from above, he's watching what's going on. So they think of a literal king that has a kingdom and sits in his palace and directs traffic, tells everyone what to do. Obviously, this is not correct. Forget about the fact that we can't say that Hashem literally does not contract himself. For that would be an instance of corporal phenomena, that Hashem, who sets himself apart from them by infinite myriads of separation, that afkam zois lebedas yidaberu. In this thing itself, they also don't speak wisely. Even though and since they are believers, the sons of believers, that Hashem knows all created beings in this lower world and exercises his providence over them. So they themselves admit that Hashem's knowledge and providence extends to this physical world. How can they even think that Hashem is just in heaven and doesn't involve himself? They know that Hashem is intimately involved in every single thing within the world. All Hashem has to do in order to know every single thing in this world, every single thing, Even what you're thinking right now, Larry, all Hashem has to do is know himself, which he doesn't have to concentrate on knowing himself. He knows himself. There's no brain that Hashem has to start like thinking. It's just is. It's just Hashem. It's such a difficult concept. I've been told, don't say this. I've been told this. Don't say you don't know what you're talking about. But when it comes to this subject, when it comes to this Indian, if we think we know what we're saying, then I question a lot of things. This is beyond us. As it were, Hashem's essence and being, his knowledge of all created beings, everything is one. Everything is one. That's the whole Indian here. Shara Yichud, the gate of unity. Since Hashem's knowledge and providence extends to this world, and since his knowledge is one with him, it follows that Hashem himself is to be found within the world. Unlike the king who's in his palace and tells his ministers and governors and servants what to do, true enough. It's only through divine service that this world may be transformed into a place in which Hashem is revealed. Nevertheless, Hashem is present in this lowly world, which feels itself to exist independently of Hashem, to the same degree as he is present within the higher spiritual world. So Hashem is just as much in this world as he is in any other spiritual place, so to speak. And when we say place, we're not talking about up there or down here. Tikkun. Sorry. This is what it says. There's no place devoid of Hashem. Not in the upper worlds, not in the lower worlds. But I'm a hemna, Parshas Pinchas, Iu, Tasif, Bechulov, Les, Man, the Sasfis, Bechulu, Iu, Vesaviv Kolamin, the Les, Man, the Nafik, Bereshusei Levad, Iu, Malakolamin, Iu, Mikasher, Miyache, Zina, Zine, Ila, Tata. Beleis kurva bedalid yisaidin ela b'kedusha b'kudsha b'richu kad ihu beinahu. So the portion of Zayah called Raya Mehemna in Parshas Pinchas we read. This is deep Kabbalah. Hashem grasps all and none can grasp it. He encompasses all the worlds and no one goes out from his domain. He permeates all worlds. He binds and unites a kind to its kind, upper and lower. And there's no closeness in the four elements of which this corporal world is comprised, except through the HaKadosh Baruch Hu when he is within them. It's only through his power that these four inherently contradictory elements are bound together. Ad kan l'shayna, this is the end of this section of the Rambam. But so what's it trying to say? That no one can grasp him. No one. Not even the most spiritual can understand Hashem in any way, can hold him. Hashem is infinite, we're finite. Even the angels are creations. They can't hold on to Hashem or limit him in any way. The Tikkunim, the Zohar says that Hashem is hidden from all the spiritual worlds, which are themselves hidden from all physical worlds and entities. And no thought can grasp you at all. So we sit here in class, and I don't want to say we're kidding ourselves because we're learning the Alter Rebbe's Tanya, which is deep, Kabbalistic concepts, and we try to, get through it. But at the end of the day, no thought can grasp Hashem. Not just not grasp Hashem, but cannot grasp any part of Hashem. So we're trying to just paint some kind of a picture in order to deepen our relationship to our essence, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And to realize that Hashem is one with everything. Even though we don't see him, we don't sense him, we don't feel him. But we know that Hashem is a part of us in every possible way. In fact, the fact that we are part of Hashem is in and of itself an anomaly, a paradox, a wondrous, miraculous thing, because we are limited Hashem is unlimited. So how could you blend the two? Only Hashem could do that. So the point being made here is that God cannot be grasped, even by heavenly thought process of the hidden worlds. There is, however, yet another concept inherent in the word grasp, the ability to adhere and thereby affect the change. How do we grasp Hashem? By creating a dwelling place, by giving something to Him. The fact that one cannot grasp Hashem also means that nothing can affect the change in Him. And even in the lower worlds, there is none that grasps Him. And even though He permeates all the worlds and animates them with a life force suited to each individual creature and creation being and created being in particular. It's not like the soul in a body, two separate things that are working nicely together. They have to work together, otherwise the person is not alive. But that's two separate things. It's not the same thing with Hashem. It's not like there's a God that comes into the world, that gives it, and the world is sort of, on its own. It's not two separate things. When a soul comes into the body, he nispeses toichaguf ad shemis poeles mekabeles shinuyim v'shinuyei haguf etzaroi me'akois oi kirirus oi chamimus ha'eish v'chayetz. When it comes to the soul and the body, and is grasped within it to the extent that it affects and it influences by changes involving the body and its pain, such as when a person's hit, or cold, or heat from fire and the like. When I say hit, the person's, delivered a blow. Feel it. Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be, is not affected by any changes of the world. Hashem doesn't feel cold during the winter and hot during the summer and darkness at night and daylight during the day. The Pasuk says, even darkness does not obscure for you, and the light and the night illuminates like day. Darkness doesn't mean darkness to Hashem. There is no difference. Everything is Hashem. Everything is one. For Hashem is not grasped within the worlds at all, even though He fills them. What does this mean, Chevra? This is beyond us. There is no such thing as trying to put your finger on it, to try to define it in any way. Hashem is way above and beyond, and at the same time, very much a part of everything. So it's the perfect paradox. The perfect paradox. It's like the perfect fusion of what doesn't make any sense. So Hashem does not extend His providence over mankind from above. He doesn't give hashgacha pratis from above and watch what happens. Hashem is present. Every moment, every action exists through Hashem, which is embedded within time and space. Deep concepts. Chew on that for 24 hours. We'll see you on the other side, Chavra. Have a wonderful day, and hatzlacha rabba to everybody.